approach. And in 2024, when he was in the market for a franchise quarterback, he applied it to the crop of top candidates, from Caleb Williams, whose high sack numbers gave him a 17.5% score, to Drake May and J.J. McCarthy, whose ball security approaches resulted in relatively low scores of 10.5 and 7.8%. And then Peyton ran numbers on Oregon's Bo Nix. In 878 dropbacks during his collegiate career, Nix was sacked only 10 times. He never fumbled, not once. He threw just 10 interceptions. He completed nearly 75% of his passes. His failure index was a paltry 2.3%. Nix was better than everyone, and it wasn't close. Peyton's formula helped narrow his choices. When he got to know Nix and learned about his character, he was sold. Nobody had a better rookie year than Jayden Daniels, but Nix started all 17 games for Denver, accounted for 33 total touchdowns, and helped the Broncos to their first playoff goal in almost a decade.
Gold loads it up. He's got it. A receiver there. Touchdown, Denver.
For the rest of his coaching career, Peyton has his quarterback.
Seth Wickersham is with us now. That is so interesting. Wouldn't all of the Italian evaluators love to have some tried and true formula and hit better than 50% on those first round quarterbacks? How well does this system work for Peyton?
Well, I think it worked pretty well this time.
Yep.
That's the mystery, right? We never quite know. Is it the guy with the ball in his hands, or is it the formula that led it to him? But I think that what makes this so interesting is that he cracked the code in his own way of the hardest metric that all of the analytics people and every GM around the league wants to know, which is like, how can you predict processing speed when you decide you want to throw the ball to delivering it? And the difference between college and the NFL is like half of a second. But no one can figure out a way to quantify how to measure that. And so what he did, I think, most coaches look at a player and they say, here are the things he does wrong and this is what I want to fix. Peyton didn't say that at all, and instead he just looked at hard results. And that's what led him to Nix, because Nix's results when it came to negative plays like sacks and turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, were so low that he trusted that he was seeing the field clearly and reacting quickly.
And the great thing about Nix is he had such a large body of work to evaluate, so Peyton wasn't guessing and saying, oh, maybe, here's the ceiling for this guy. It's really interesting because we do know, Peter, that the Broncos have maybe the best defense in the NFL. It's great, and that's awesome for Nix. What about the other side of the ball? Have they done enough to help build off of last year?
Well, I'd first say what a testament to Seth and what a reporter that he is, and that Sean Payton's even willing to share that contents, the manila folder, with him. And when you unveil that, it can't just be the quarterback. You have to build around him as well. And I remember being on the phone with Peyton the night before the draft last year, and he probably called me 3 different times asking the same question, if the Raiders loved Penix. Do the Raiders love Penix? If Penix, are the Raiders going to trade up to get Penix? He was so concerned about the Raiders loving Penix that they might not love Penix and might love Bo Nix, and then this whole entire process and rating system would be out the window if the Raiders jumped him. He wasn't going to let it happen again. To your point, Seth, he wanted Mahomes. They were all ready to draft Mahomes. Andy Reid went and got him. So now they put the parts around him, and you look at the running backs room. I think it's huge. When he was in New Orleans, Sean always had this variety of running backs, whether it be a combination of Pierre Thomas and Darren Sproles and Reggie Bush, and then eventually Alvin Kamara. They always had all these guys, and then soon enough, Taysom Hill was playing that. In Denver, they're building a stable of running backs, and all the fantasy folks will tell you Harvey's the guy, and he will be, but they still really like Jaleel McLaughlin. They still are really excited about getting J.K. Dobbins, and they still like the kid Estime that they got from Notre Dame last year. So that's going to be key, because Sean Payton has not always been a passing guy. We know that. And it's always been about breeze. But that stable of running backs is almost as important in New Orleans as it was the passing game. And they are very high on what they have in the running backs room this year as well.
Yeah, they traded up to get Nix's college teammate, Troy Franklin, as well. So this is just one part of your new book, and I was raised. I mean, kudos to get Sean Payton to peel back the coaching onion at all. It's unbelievable. What else can we expect? Because I know you're going to have some more great revelations for us coming up.
What was funny, and I didn't tell a soul about that. I didn't even tell my wife. Nobody knew that he had showed me that. I didn't talked to a single person about it, and it all worked out. He was a happy, happy guy after the draft. I think I'm going to be here every week. We're going to talk about a new element of the book, and I hopefully have some surprises for people.
Yeah, well, hopefully you got more people to spill some more secrets, as only you can, Seth Wickersham. Also, we want to tell people this book is unbelievable. It's called American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. It is available for pre-order now wherever books are sold. We have some breaking news now into NFL Live from Adam Schefter, and this is big. The NFL has suspended Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison for the first 3 games of the 2025 regular season for violating the league's substances abuse policy. He will now miss games at Chicago, against the Falcons, against the Bengals. Again, tough news for that team, and especially J.J. McCarthy, his first year. Breaking news on NFL Live. The NFL has suspended Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison for the first 3 games of the 2025 regular season. For the details now, we go to Jeff Darlington. JD, what more can you tell us?
Well, Hannah, this is a 3-game suspension that is for substance abuse, but this is actually something that requires a little more context. Addison was arrested for DUI last year. He pleaded down to a lesser charge. So this is related to that. The wording obviously is being used that it's the substance abuse situation. The suspension is for that, but this is all related to that DUI. So this then will go away in terms of the punishment from the NFL. This is their final punishment as a result of that situation. So again, a 3-game suspension for the Vikings' number 2 wide receiver. Obviously very impactful considering J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback, is trying to establish himself as the franchise guy.
Right. Those first 3 games would be at the Bears, the Falcons, and the Bengals. They don't meet a playoff team until they play in Dublin against the Steelers in Week 4. So obviously this affects defenses on the other side. They're going to be able to concentrate on Justin Jefferson. What does this mean for McCarthy and the Vikings offense as they try to get going with a new quarterback who essentially is a rookie?
You mentioned Justin. Yeah, you mentioned Justin, Hannah. He's been dealing with an injury himself, so he hadn't had that great of a time with J.J. McCarthy in camp either. But here's the deal, man. Like, as a rookie quarterback coming into a system, all of the confidence in the world and what Kevin O'Connell has been doing offensively, we saw him resurrect Sam Darnold's career. J.J. McCarthy was the guy that they chose, right? So now it's about positioning him. And look, I guess the silver lining in a situation that's not good is that now you prepare to not have Addison, which gives this coaching staff an opportunity. Naylor is still there, who stepped up big for him at the wide receiver position as well in some games. But I think ultimately for a young quarterback, now it's about finding within. Like, the run game is going to become more prevalent. This defense is still really, really good under Brian Flores. So it may be more of like, let's play mistake-free football. Let's find the plays where we can be explosive downfield, but more importantly, play a complementary game until you have your full requisite weapons with Jordan Addison coming back, because he did develop into a deep threat for Sam Darnold last year, and J.J. McCarthy is going to want to have that back before they start opening this offense.
All right, we have more breaking news. I'm sorry, did you want to add something, Trades? Go ahead.
I was going to say, you get a month now to get those guys going. You mentioned Naylor, Felton's there, Rondale Moore, they went and signed. Like, you've got a month now, so you better have a number 2 wide receiver. This can't be one of those where they're looking around in the huddle week 1 and say, what do we do without Addison? I think they'll be prepared.
Exactly. It looked like a relatively maybe soft beginning for J.J. McCarthy, which just got a lot more challenging. And as I mentioned moments ago, speaking of young quarterbacks, Browns rookie Shedeur Sanders is expected to start Cleveland's preseason opener against the Panthers. How about that? First reported by Mary Kay Cabot, and that was confirmed by Shefty, and he's been dealing with some shoulder soreness as well. Trey, what do you think about this?
I perked up. This is the Shedeur effect. I perked up. I didn't anticipate this, and now it's okay. Shedeur's going to play, and he's going to play in a preseason game, and he's going to have an opportunity to do it on a national stage. This is why Shedeur Sanders is a different kind of 5th-round pick. If you told me some other 5th-round pick playing for some other team was starting, I wouldn't even, care. Now I'm seeing Shedeur, and I'll tell you, these guys know it. And Jeff, you might have been there with me. I remember being up in Renton, Washington, watching Russell Wilson in 2012 national TV. Go and light it up. Throw the ball. Have fun. But I didn't buy the jersey, but I definitely perked up at the fact that he's going to be